Hey kids, what time is it?
What time is it?
It's community conversations time.
It's community conversations time. That's right. From the beaches of South Florida to the hills of Tennessee. From New York to Hawaii. Tell your friends that Community Conversations is about to inform the next generation with news, without fear, and educate them without a pain.
And a warm South Florida and Costa Rica welcome to all of you.
This 1 hour forum deepens connections, and it provides discussions on a range of topics including social emotional issues, improving relations with law enforcement, post-secondary education, careers, health and wellness, politics and race, inclusion and equality.
Focus on an initiative. Case in point tonight, you all were speaking about gun violence. Since I've been growing up, that's been a thing, especially living here in Florida.
Community Conversations, where it's all about highlighting the talented youth in our communities and the great things that they are doing.
In terms of encouraging women's involvement in civil rights activism.
Community Conversations.
Welcome to tonight's edition of Community Conversation. I am actually sitting in for Denia Strawn, who will be joining us later in the show.
And I'm Sebastian John Veer. And for the next 60 minutes, we're serving you up news that you need to know. And trust us, you won't hear from anywhere else.
That's right. Vibe Check Soulful Serenade. Picture this: smooth jazz, powerful gospel, and R&B that hits you right in the feels. That's exactly what's going down at Soulful Serenade on Sunday, April 27th, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Riviera Beach Event Center. You'll catch Derek Mack grooving on stage, Sharon Spence and Terrion Nelson belting out vocals that'll leave you speechless, and Fernando Jones, the blues man out of Chicago, bringing those rich, soulful sounds. Dance, sing along, or just chill. The vibe is going to be immaculate. Tickets are $40 or $75 for VIP. Now go ahead and get yours today on Eventbrite or call 561-665-0151. Let me see. Who's ready for an unforgettable night?
Speaking of nights, students have been finding a way to study about sleeping to succeed. And yes, that is a saying. High schoolers in Mansfield, Ohio are taking a class called Sleep to Be a Better You. And no, it's not just about catching Z's in class. It's about fixing those bad bedtime habits. Late night TikTok scrolling, constant texting, and chaotic schedules are ruining teen sleep. And I'm just going to be a little guilty here. It's kind of been a struggle for me too, but I'm managing to manage it. But enough about being honest. It's not just about catching Z's in class, but most high schoolers are barely hitting 6 hours when they need 8 to 10, which is why most high schoolers in high school are sleeping in the middle of class. But these course tracks moods, log sleep patterns, and is already challenging lives. Just ask 14-year-old Nathan Baker, who ditched his phone at night and now wakes up to feeling brand new.
I must ask you, Sebastian, what time you go to bed?
Around 9 to 10 p.m., usually during the weekdays.
And what time do you get up?
Okay, so like I usually I'm usually up around 7, and which is like a weird thing because like I'm always up. I always wake up early, even on the weekends. But like I stay in bed for 7 p.m., but I also just like stay in bed at 7. But then I actually get up around 9 or 10, which is a weird thing. For the next 2 hours, I'm just on my phone during bed.
Okay, and I know you get in bed at 9 or 10, as you say, but what time do you actually go to sleep? Okay, 1, 2. One, I understand, 1, 2. So which means you actually get about 6 or 5 hours sleep, right?
Yeah, but
okay, kind of, sort of.
It varies.
All right. That's a story for another day. We'll talk about it on another show. All right, young men, this one's for you. It's time to level up your future at the Inspire Young Men to Believe and Achieve Conference on April 26th at the United House of Prayer in Riviera Beach. Industry pros will drop game on relationship, emotional intelligence, and self-awareness. Everything you need to understand people, navigate change, and own your purpose. Again, call 561-665-0151 to register. Go ahead, believe, achieve, and just become.
And here's a shout out to our biggest supporter, Big ups to Mr. Stephen Schubel. His generous donations have fueled KOP Mentoring Network's programs, including this very show. We're bringing community conversations to you for over 5 years and couldn't do it without supporters like him. Want to join the movement? Call 561-665-0151 or find us on Instagram and Facebook. Together, we are making a difference.
And let me just add that 5 years, but 5 years, and they have not missed a show in 5 years. Yes, I've missed
Not one.
These kids, not one in 5 years. That speaks volumes. Well, hey, tired of gloomy news? We got you. If you're over the doom and gloom, Community Conversations flip the script. All right. We highlight young change makers making big impacts from local heroes to global game changers. If someone in your life needs some positivity, text or call them right now and let them know we're on air.
And here's how you can stay safe around this dangerous world. South Florida, do you need elite security services? Look no further than Hunter Sampson Security, experts in concealed weapons, training, tactical defense, self-defense, and much, much more. Call 561-597-6348 and ask for Nick. Tell him you heard this right here on Community Conversations. Stay safe and stay secure.
Oh my God, Sebastian, it's 7:07. This is the first time in the history of the show that I've been on before 7. I don't know what it is you guys been doing, but it's 7:07 now. You guys normally have us dragging to 7:15, 7:20. And tonight, somehow, 7:07, Mr. John and I are up. Man, I guess I need to host a show more often, huh? Anyway, from the beaches to the boondocks, from Maine to Miami, east to west, people know what's up at 7 p.m. on Fridays. It's time to pause everything and dive into the hottest commentary on the news of the day. Welcome to Trending Now with Mr. John and Mr. C. Ron. Well, as you can tell, Mr. John is not here because he's at the University of Southern California. What did I say? Southern California or South? Same thing. He's at University of South Carolina, and they have a game tonight. So Mr. John is there. But anyway, Jeremiah, why don't you go ahead and give me my music, please?
Just like this, I don't know why, but I feel like freedom. I hear a song that takes me back, and I let go with so much freedom. Freedom, I'm gonna get, 'cause it's my freedom.
Yes. So Jeremiah, guess what? I mean, Sebastian, guess what? It's just me and you in the big seat today. Wow. Why don't you go ahead and bring DJ in since we're gonna roll with him, Jeremiah. Mr. Deron Blake Jr., what's going on, brother man?
Everything's good, Mr. Sheeran. How are you doing?
Good. Another great day, South Florida. Well, listen to this. I got to share this with you since I have the microphone. The Easter egg trend that has everyone saying, nah, Kate. Pastel-colored eggs, basic. Dyeing them, DJ, listen to this. Dyeing them in porcelain bowls, aka the toilet.
What?
That's trending. Yes, that's trending.
That's so nasty. Who would do that?
Well, hey, did you go to Easter egg hunt today, DJ?
No, sir. I'm gonna do it.
There was one in Riviera Beach I heard today, so down the street from you. So anyway, yep. And this Instagram video from Kate Heinzelman has social media shook after she casually dropped hard-boiled eggs into a toilet bowl, squirting some food coloring, and swirled them around like it was just another day. Now, her followers who know her wild food experiments from her page, Kate will try anything, weren't too surprised. But even Eggo Waffles had to jump in with the comment. Now, Kate, what's up with that? And if toilet dyed eggs aren't your thing, DJ, don't worry.
That is just disgusting.
Bro, that's nobody's thing, Mr. Ciron.
Well, I'm glad. Excuse me, glad to hear that. TikTok has been buzzing about cheaper alternatives like decorating marshmallows and even potatoes, which, let's be real, are sturdier, much sturdier anyway. Would you try Kate's method, or are we sticking to good old-fashioned egg dye kits? What about you, DJ? What are you up to? What are you gonna do with? Are you gonna go to the Kate's Easter egg hunt this year, or what are you gonna do?
No, I'm gonna keep it traditional as always. The eggs, the Easter egg hunt. I'm gonna stick with the eggs.
And what about you? What about you, Sebastian?
You know, I have a question. Why
Uh-huh.
would you do it in a toilet? Because like toilet water, it is mud. You don't know what's in there. You don't know what type of
No, but you
bacteria is
flushed it
in there,
before.
what type of stuff in there. Like
No, but
it's
she
not
flushed it.
actual. It's
She
still
flushed
weird to
it.
put
She
it in a
flushed
toilet though.
I thought
But,
every
like,
time
can't
you
you
flush it, it cleans it.
Bro, she
You
probably
can just
did
do
it
the
because she didn't
same
want
thing
anyone to touch
on-
the
You can
egg.
do the same thing on a sink. You can do it on a sink, but why a toilet? That is just bizarre on so many levels. Like,
Well, the water cleaned it, I guess. Someone just texted and said it was purified. Someone said it was purified.
but
Anyway,
you can get some dyed eggs at Walmart
Yeah.
that aren't even in a disgusting way. Like, there's some dyed eggs that got at Walmart. Some dyed eggs are actually in an egg carton. That would be much better than getting those type of eggs and putting them in the toilet.
Jane in Columbia, South Carolina said at least when she flushed it, they didn't go down. Anyway, folks.
Ashton's looking troubled right now.
Well, that's all right. Meet DJ, folks. Meet DJ. Let's be real. He's a young star, just taking flight. This young man, you know, when we talk about future leaders, DJ Blake is a top tier. Been a golf champ and aviation program leader with KOP Mentor Network. He was one of the founders in that aviation program. And thanks to the Civil Air Patrol, he's already flown over Western Palm Beach County, even though he's too young to hold a pilot's license. This summer now, DJ took his aviation skills to the next level, training with the Civil Air Patrol to learn tricks, flips, and everything needed to become a pilot. This young man's schedule is busier than Elon Musk, but somehow he still manages to keep top grades at the Green School in Palm Beach County. Am I correct, DJ? You're at the Green School, right?
Yes, sir.
DJ, boy, we got to know. You just got back from Toronto, I'm being told. Was your trip to Toronto about negotiating trade deals for the U.S. or why were you there?
My trip sadly wasn't to negotiate trade deals, but it was to go to the Hockey Hall of Fame and research there, learn how to research and learn how to make an exhibit to showcase hockey.
Now, how did this come about? Why Toronto? How were you selected?
So all the kids in our 8th grade class was able to go, sponsored by the Green School and Mr. Hammerman.
DJ, hold a minute. You have me going like this. Apparently, you're rocking, and Mr. Ciron's in my chair rocking over here too. So
I'm sorry. Okay, so Mr. Harriman, who it started when Mr. Harriman drank out the Stanley Cup and met one of the cup keepers, Miss Myra, who Mr. Harriman told about the our class and the fact that we're making museum exhibits, and she's like, okay, well, here's my number, call me, and we can make all the arrangements so that we can go and make a museum exhibit with the National Hockey Hall of Fame. And so 1 + 1 makes 2, and we were able to go to Toronto for a week.
now, Miss Sylvia Porter wants to know, DJ, what was he researching? What were you researching in at the Hockey Hall of Fame?
Okay, So we all had our own separate projects. Mine was the growth and popularity of hockey in Florida. And so we had to craft and make museum exhibits based on that. And so I've researched all my part, which is which was the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I had to make a little subsection for the bigger piece of the project, which was all about the Lightning.
Okay, good. Now, after you got back from Toronto, I'm told that you hit the state capitol. Were you working with the governor there or with one of the state reps or senators? What was that trip all about?
Okay, so for Tallahassee, we went to Canada. We came back for spring break, got a chance to kind of relax a little bit for spring break, and then get up and then drive down to Tallahassee to work in the House. My representative was Representative Javante Edmonds for our district. And so we went and I got to see the inner workings of our government.
Okay. Ms. Porter says, DJ, thanks for all you do. You're a fine gentleman and you have a promising future ahead. She's from Sumter, South Carolina. So that's good. Now, talk to me, DJ. Tell us about the powerful connections that you're making in both in Toronto and in Tallahassee.
Okay, so relationships are key. And so when we went to Toronto, I made relationships with a lot of my team members. I made relationships with one of the cup keepers, Miss Myra, who helped us design our exhibit. And in Tallahassee, of course, I made relationship with my representative, Javante Edmonds, who still helps me to this day. When I have a speaking gig or something like that, he's there. And just to say, I know a Florida House of Representative, and to know these people up in higher places, and to be able to rely on them when you need help or when they need your help. It's very, very important.
What was that experience like? How long were you there?
So they were both week long. The one that was in Tallahassee was for 4 days, because on the 5th day we had to go back down and we had to go to another event that I had, the Pace Setters. And so 4 days in the House of Representatives, getting to see the inner workings, and from what they said, they all forge relationships. It's not madness. They're not fighting. It's more like they know each other, they talk with each other, and they try to find a decent situation, solution.
Ms. Porter, you only allow one question a week, but that's all right. She wants to know your career aspirations. Are you planning on being a politician of some sort?
I'm not really sure what I want to do yet. I have a few options, one of which is to go to the military and be in the Air Force, because I'm in Civil Air Patrol and I'm doing pretty well in that. Another aspiration is for me to be a lawyer, because I like debating issues and I think I'm very well spoken. And another aspiration is a pro tennis golf player, if I really want to put in the work and get there.
Way to go. Well said. Well, young man, whatever field you choose to pursue, I'm sure you're going to do well. Very proud to know that I met you along the way. You're going to do well, DJ. Thank you for being with us. And you're always welcome to hang out with us on a Friday night.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't be half the person I am without you, Mr. Ciron. So I thank you for the opportunities that you've given me and the abilities that I have to better myself as a whole. So thank you.
Thank you. Very kind of you, DJ. Take care, brother. How's Tristan doing?
Oh, Tristan, he's doing all right.
All right. You let him know we asked about him.
Okay.
Give my regards. Take care, DJ.
He's busy just like me.
Yeah. Now, speaking of busy, who keeps your schedule? Do you have a scheduler? You have a legislative aide?
my legislative aide and my scheduler is my mom. She sets up these events, and she covers setting us up there. She covers our transportation, and she manages like what we do. And so far, she hasn't failed.
Thank God for mom. Bless you, mom.
Thank God for mom.
Give mom our regards, please.
Thank you.
Take care, DJ.
You too.
Right. Jeremiah, you have a video for us?
Jeremiah?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Sebastian.
Okay. Building stronger men in Young Palm Beach sorry. But today we're going to be talking about building stronger young men in Palm Beach County. Speaking of relationships and connections, young men in Palm Beach County have an incredible opportunity to learn about building relationships at the upcoming Inspire Young to Believe and Achieve conference. Tonight, we've got Mr. Garrett Forsythe and Joel Simmons, the masterminds behind this powerful 6-part series. First 3 semesters covered in health, wellness, career development, and grooming. This month, it's all about relationships. Next up, mental wellness in May and money management in June. Are they coming?
Okay, Jeremiah. Jeremiah.
Video should be loading.
It should be on any moment now. Let's see. He is having technical difficulties. Well, let's see. Mr. Joe or Garrett should be coming in.
Either one, or which one first?
Garrett, both. Bring both of them in. Okay. Oh, there he is.
Hello, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Great having you, gentlemen.
Good evening. Been enjoying this show, and we can't take credit for what the great C. Ron has masterminded. This is his program, and Garrett and I and a few other men have been blessed to be partakers and chairpersons by C. Ron for this 4th session dealing with relationships. So we're definitely glad to be here on this show tonight, and happy to see Sebastian and DJ and C. Ron. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, bro. Another great day in South Florida. How are things with you?
All is well. All is well. Today has been highly productive. I'm glad to see my friend Garrett Forsythe down there on the screen, and just glad to be here to do this work. Thank you for having us.
Sounds good. Well, take it away, Sebastian.
It's okay, Mr. Ron. Now, I have a few questions for you, sir. Why did you pick relationships as the theme for April?
Who's the question towards?
You since you
I'll take it.
Start off, Joe.
All right, sounds good. Well, actually, as I said before, C. Ron came up with this magnificent program where he featured different key thoughts that would be empowering for the young men for across the Palm Beach County. And so when that happened, Garrett and myself, we rose our hand for relationships, because we understand that relationships are part of the building blocks of young men. And we wanted to be able to help not only just with what we have learned over the course of years and through education, but also through those whom we interact with, and be able to bring a group of individuals to the table that may be able to help better the opportunity for young men that come to this program.
Okay. Now, Garrett, how do you ensure that these topics resonate with young men from all backgrounds?
Great question. The thing, I do executive coaching with a lot of guys in their 20s and 30s, but I learned that the same principles apply to guys in their teens and guys in junior high, high school. I've done a lot of coaching along in my life. I used to coach soccer for junior high, high school age kids. And I've learned a lot about how emotional intelligence really ends up being probably one of the most important things to learn in life. And if the earlier you learn it, if we could go back and tell our younger selves a lot of things, we'd learn a lot. And that's what Joel, myself, and Wayne are going to be doing, is teaching a lot of key principles that, we learned the hard way in some cases. We want to make it to where you can learn a little easier. And we're going to give you some frameworks and some ideas that you can chew on, think about, that are going to help you be emotionally more mature, emotionally more intelligent. And the good news is that emotional intelligence is way more important than IQ. People have medium IQ, high IQ, low IQ. That doesn't really dictate success in life. Emotional intelligence and understanding your personality and how best to use it, those are the kind of things that really can help young men develop a lot faster and give you a head start. It's like being in a race and having a 20-yard lead on somebody else. If you learn a lot of these principles and kind of can chew on them and think about them and learn them at a younger age.
Love it.
All right,
I love it, Garrett. And with that thought in mind,
but could you maybe
the
share a
thought
moment from the conference that
is
left
such a
a major
key
impact?
to achieving every desire. So I love that you brought that up right there.
Yeah, it's so important. It really is. And a lot of us don't think about it. We don't think about how we think. So this is going to open up the guy's eyes to thinking about those kind of topics that you normally don't really consider that much. So we really hope to bring a lot of key things. And also Wayne's got a lot of great principles on values, identity, and purpose that he's going to bring in. So we got a packed program.
Yes.
Sebastian, you go ahead.
Okay. That is nice. Can you maybe share a moment from the conference that left a major impact?
So I think from the first conference that I was able to attend, when there was a young man that stood up, and he's part of a reentry program, and when he began to speak about his testimony, about where he came from and how he got to where he is and the work that he was doing, you could tell that he was a release from his past, because he was able to share his testimony of how he got locked up freely. And then B, he was able to tell us what he was doing now, because he was confident in what he's doing. And then C, he was able to spread that message. And so that was something that really touched me in the first session, was just seeing that. And honestly, that's what Garrett and I and Wayne Dawson and Christopher Dorr and Michael Feynman, that's what we want to bring to the table. It's just helping people to understand exactly these young men, to help them to understand exactly who they are, and to reach a level of acceptance in who they are, and then to decide exactly who they want to be able to start to form that identity inside their mind and rewrite the narrative. Because as young people, as young men, we all have a narrative that is written for us. Our parents are writing a narrative. And sometimes what ends up happening is that we as young people, or at least I did when I was a young person, I decided I wanted to rebel against many of the good lessons that I was being taught by my mother. So sometimes you need that outside influence. That was something that was key to me, hearing that man speak and realizing that, he was taking some of the very things that we want to talk about on this session coming up on the 26th. And he had put those things into action, and he was successful with it.
Now, if you're just joining us, you're listening to Community Conversations with Garrett Forsythe and Joel Simmons, two facilitators on an upcoming conference on inspiring young men to believe and achieve. And Joel, tell me, where will this conference be held and what time?
So the Inspire Young Men to Believe and Achieve conference, this is the fourth session. It'll be held Saturday, April 26th 2025. And the starting time will be 9 o'clock a.m. to 12 noon. There'll be some light bites a little bit before 9. So if you come around 8:30, and there'll be some light bites at around 12 noon. Also a little panelist where you'll be able to speak with some of the guys and ask questions. It's going to be located in Riviera Beach, in the heart of Riviera Beach at 3333 Avenue I, Riviera Beach, Florida, 33404. That's
And
at
as you
Mhm.
go ahead.
That's at the church location called the United House of Prayer.
Wonderful. Thank you. As usual, you can text your questions of 561-665-0151. Go ahead and put that on the tickler, Jeremiah, 561-665-0151. We just had a question that came in. What type of relationships will you be addressing? All relationships or a specific kind?
Pretty much all of them. I mean, everything we're going to be talking about applies to everything of who you are, your personality, your values, your beliefs, your motivations, your attitudes. All those things kind of meld in together to form who we are. And we'll be talking about that. And it really can apply to every relationship you have.
Now, Garrett, another question that came in specifically for you. You said you're an executive coach. Are you local? Where can people find you? And what exactly do you do?
Typically, I coach guys that are, and women that are in early parts of their career or mid-career, and we do go over some of these same principles. We talk a lot about personality, how it shapes us, how we can get along with others around us, our bosses, our people that report to us. So we do a lot of coaching around capability building, leadership, strengths and weaknesses, things that can derail us. You know, when you're young, you don't think about those kind of things. When you start to work and you're in the working world, it starts to affect you, whether you're going to be successful in your work environment or whether you're going to have struggles and have trouble. So a lot of different topics depending on what the individual wants to pursue, and it can really vary. But most of those are get around personality, relationships, strengths, leadership. Those are kind of some of the common threads.
Someone just shared with us, social and emotional learning is probably the most important ingredient to a healthy life.
Yes.
Waking up and growing up early in life is such a big key to success. Yes, acceptance and rewriting the narrative is the path to manifesting a great life. Discipline and working with mentors is important, which takes me to my next question about mentoring. But before we go, my producer just said to me that he has a video he wants to play. Go ahead, Jeremiah, play the video. Jeremiah. All right, before the video comes on, let's just go to the question. The question we have here is, what roles do mentors and positive role models play in shaping how young men navigate relationships? Garrett, and then Joe.
Yeah, I was going to let Joel answer. I think I've had good mentors in my life, and that's something that I find was very important early in my career, because I found myself in some leadership roles when I was still in my 20s that I was a little over my head. But luckily, I had mentors, and those who were around me were helping me to be successful. So when I made a mistake, it wasn't a huge mistake, but you only learn from making mistakes, unfortunately. So luckily, I had mentors that helped me early on in my career, and now it's payback time. Now it's really giving back to kind of pay back some of the great people that I had mentoring me.
Yeah, I like that answer right there, Garrett. I would say that mentorship is like the invisible hands that help shape the direction that an individual is going. And so mentorship is super important. I know when I was coming up, my mother reached out to many men to help shape me. And I still remember those men. I got those faces inside of my mind, and the words that they gave me that gave me the encouragement and the power that let me know that I could make it and that I was capable of overcoming. So now in these days of mentorship, I look back to those things and the things that I've learned to be able to help them, because whenever an individual, a mentor and a mentee have a special relationship between each other, because they're able to share A mentee that trusts their mentor is able to share anything and everything without any, and knowing that there won't be any judgment or any bias. And so that relationship is very delicate, and it needs to be treated like so. So being a mentor is a great experience, but it's also something that should be held at a very high level, a high statute, because you're holding somebody's personal thoughts and beliefs, and you don't want to poison that. The narration is very important, and to deliver somebody, or to deliver the words that help somebody, means so much. Thought is the key to achieving every single desire. And when the thought process is widened, when it's open, then there's an opportunity to understand your own personality. As Garrett was mentioning, you can understand, you gain wisdom about emotional intelligence, and you're able to start projecting the things that matter into your life. But sometimes we cannot project those things that matter into our life because we don't know them. We've never been exposed to them. Our environment did not produce some of these things, some of these attributes. Like the gentleman that was just up here, DJ, when C-Ron, when you gave him a compliment, he said, I wouldn't be half the man that I am if it wasn't for you. And so it's like C-Ron he'd been a mentor, KOP Mentoring Network. He's been mentoring this young man, DJ. And because of that, he's exposed them to new levels of insight. And that is helping to craft his life. So mentors, they have the ability, they have the ability to help craft the mindset. And I think that right there shouldn't be taken lightly.
Well, thank you. Before Jeremiah just tell me the video is ready. Before he does so, Joe, what's Tenacity IG? What is Tenacity? Is that your company?
Yes. So that's my Instagram handle, jsimmons.tenacity. And Tenacity Foundation is all about helping people become better in their lives. So through mentoring, through speeches, through leadership engagement, and through social media, we do our best to be able to put out words that will help encourage others and help them to move through their processes.
Got you. Go ahead, Jeremiah. Play the video now.
It's time to inspire, empower, and elevate. The 2025 Inspire Young Men to Believe and Achieve Conference Series is here. Powered by the KOP Mentoring Network and hosted by C. Ron Allen and Aida Smith. On April 26th, we're tackling relationships at the United House of Prayer in Riviera Beach. Meet your powerhouse speakers. Garrett Forsythe, executive coach, breaks down emotional intelligence and personality dynamics. Joel Simmons, CEO of Tenacity Foundation, unpacks the power of change. Wayne Dawson, founder of VIP Transformative Living, explores how values, identity, and purpose shape relationships. Christopher Dora, former pro athlete and wealth strategist, connects purpose to legacy. Michael Feynman, founder of the Fatherhood Code, delivers truth on self-awareness, faith, and fatherhood. This isn't just a conference, it's a movement. KOP meant.
Thank you.
Well, that was, I feel like that was a very nice program that you guys have over there. But here is my final question for you guys. After 6 months of transformation, what do you think is the long-term vision for your program?
Garrett, you want to answer that?
Yeah, we don't know yet, to be honest. We are willing and we are available, and we want this to be a successful introduction to some of the concepts. We are open to doing this more, doing this again, doing it with different audiences. So we will see.
Okay.
How about you, Joe?
Taking a leap of faith. I see. Well, thank you both for your leadership and dedication to shaping the future for young men. We really appreciate your work, and your work will not be forgotten.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you, C. Ron. All right, good seeing you too, Garrett.
Anytime. Making moves for young people. Well, hey, did you know that autism used to be so rare that only 0.4. 0.4 kids per 1,000 were diagnosed in 1985. My producer sitting here saying, Denia Strong saying, how can you have 0.4 kids? Well, Doc's coming on in a few minutes. He'll explain that. Now, fast forward to today, guys, and it's become a global neurodevelopmental concern impacting people of all ages. Most doctors say there's no treatment, but one holistic health expert believes he has a proven process that can prevent autism spectrum disorder and even alleviate its effects. We have Dr. Peter Amata, founder of Inner Harmony Wellness Centers, and he's here with some hopeful news for National Autism Month. This happens to be National Autism Month. Dr. Amata, welcome, sir. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me, C. Ron.
My pleasure, my pleasure. First thing first, what drew you into holistic health?
Well, what if I told you a nudge, a grudge, or a judge? I was 38 years old and I was a vigilante and ended up in a drug and alcohol rehab. And getting sober, I realized that life is an inside job, just like you and your crew are talking about tonight. You know, and I was mentored by a fine group of sober individuals that put me on the path and set me into the world of health and natural medicine.
Interesting.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I have another question for you, doctor. How do you help your
Absolutely.
kids how do you help kids in general in your wellness centers? And what exactly is autism spectrum disorder?
Well, these are great questions, Sebastian, and we help in a lot of ways. But let me just explain that autism spectrum disorder, it's a neurodevelopment disorder. Neurodevelopment. Think about that word. Neuro, that's the neurology, the wiring, you know, that makes us tick. So the wiring gets developed, you know, in the womb, in the fetal, it starts, you know, by mom and dad. So what happens if that gets tarnished along the way? We have a neurodevelopmental disorder. This affects a person's communication. It affects their behavior and their social interaction. And it's different for each person. It's characterized by differences in the brain's actual development. And then a wide range of symptoms range from slight to severe. We work in public schools, actually. We teach, I was really impressed with what the gentlemen were saying. We teach social and emotional learning in public schools, believe it or not. With the federal monies, we teach self-inquiry and quieting of the mind, mindfulness meditation in public schools. This year we taught over 4,000 kids. We teach the social workers, guidance counselors, nurses, and the school teachers how to teach breathing techniques and quieting the mind down for kindergarten through 12th grade. So that's how we try to help people make more informed decisions in their youth. You know, how to step back and not take the first sign of acting out, or you know, the ability to relax and settle into a situation. In building relationships like these gentlemen were talking about, is the ability to listen in rather than we say to learn how to respond rather than react, Sebastian.
So break it down for us, Doc, if you will. How does natural, how does your natural process work? And what prevention techniques do you offer?
Well, it's a great question, you know, and I work in a world of medicine that's not in the traditional sense. You know, we work in what we call integrative medicine, functional medicine. Even now, it's being recognized in the medical journals as quantum medicine. Quantum medicine suggests that we're electrical beings before we're mechanical beings. So when you talk about, you know, the way we feel, the way we sense is more electrical than it is mechanical. So we're not machines, we're actually electrical beings. And this is a way of investigating health issues and chief concerns, much different than the tradition of, shall we say, blood work and testing, because the chronic conditions of today, like the autism spectrum disorder and such, you won't find that in blood work. But in quantum testing, see, we do advanced testing. So what ends up happening is our body tells us what's wrong. That's the whole way of the new medicine. When we can inquire and ask the body what's wrong, and not having it be cookie cutter where, there's only one size fits all. When you want to address the uniqueness of the individual, especially with neurodegenerative diseases, you really got to hone in on that individual's toxic load, if you will.
Okay. And for anyone who's interested in learning more, where can they find you?
Well, we test worldwide. InnerHarmonyWellness.com is our business in Pennsylvania, and we're also connecting down here in South Florida. We're looking to work with different medical groups here to bring our work to South Florida. So that's why I'm down here, trying to build relationships and expand our horizons and bring our way of testing to the world here. Because when you deal with quantum energy fields, everything opens up, and we realize that it's really about cellular detoxification that is really at the root of autism. We have environmental toxicity, what we ingest and what the fetus ingests, is heavy metal toxicity, chemical toxicity. It's such a dirty world, with plastics, insecticides, electromagnetic radiation. This is how highly sensitive we are when we talk about
lots of dangerous
autism.
things.
Dr. Amato,
exactly.
we have I have a question here. Just came in. Where are you located at, and how do people reach you?
Well, you could email me at peteramato@aol.com. You could go on our website, InnerHarmonyWellness.com. Or you could call for a free phone consult with one of our team members at 570-319-6073.
That number again is 561.
Nope, it's 570.
570. Okay.
319-6073.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you so much for hanging with us. And as usual, you're always welcome to this show.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed the show. It's a great show, and you guys are doing amazing work.
We thank you,
very
sir.
much.
Yeah, privileged to be on with you.
Looks like big things are happening in Riviera Beach. Just 4 days ago, the city of Riviera Beach elected a new mayor, Douglas Lawson. After 6 years as a councilman, he's stepping up with big plans for the city, improving infrastructure. I apologize if I butchered that word. Boosting public safety and bringing in new business opportunities for many people alike. But here's the best part. He's all about empowering young people, which is a very popular topic for tonight. Mayor Lawson, thank you for joining us, and what do you have to say for us today?
Thank you so much for having me, Sebastian. And you are doing a phenomenal job with hosting, with everything you've been doing. C-Ron, you're a blessing to this community. Just to kind of participate in this show just shows that the work is never done, and I'm excited to keep working. So thank you, and thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Of course, sir. And we appreciate you being able to take your time of the day and be able to join us right here on Community Conversations. But I have a question for you. How do you plan to bring in real opportunities to young people in Riviera Beach?
So I think our goal is to first listen to the community, to see what the issues, the needs, and the concerns, especially from our young people, are. And we're going to be doing that over the next 30 days. And then once we do that, is to partner with organizations like KOP, like Men of Tomorrow, Men of Distinction, some of these Greek organizations that have the youth camps, and to provide real training partnerships and mentorship for them. So I think our goal is really just partnership and being in conjunction and unison and working with the city. I think we haven't done a good enough job of doing that. We need to do a better job at that.
Mr. Mayor, congratulations. And again, thank you for being here with us this evening.
Thanks, sir. Thank you for having me again, brother.
Now, balancing youth programs with citywide needs isn't easy. How do you plan to make sure young voices are heard?
So I think that the balancing of the city needs with the community programming has been the struggle, because the city has so many needs when it comes to development, infrastructure, lack of resources. We need to find those partners that are willing to contribute and engage with our city programmings that are out there. Development and infrastructure is happening in our community, but are they investing back into the programmings that are here in the community? Community threats and conversations and these discussions are vital, but actually hearing our students, hearing our young people, and hearing the individuals that are going to be impacted for generations to come. If I build a brand new water plant, facilities, police station, fire station, these children are the ones that's going to be impacted by the development and the infrastructure. So they need to be at the table and have a say with what's happening as well, because my decision today impacts everybody tomorrow. One of our biggest things, and one of the first things I'm going to do, is move forward with the youth council. And we've talked briefly about that, but establishing a youth council in Riviera Beach so that we can have an elected mayor, a chair, and a vice chair with a council of young people from Riviera Beach to talk about the concerns as policymakers, and then to hear and to engage with the city council about what the young people of our community need.
I see. But in the meantime, though, do you have any exciting partnerships or initiatives that we should watch out for?
Absolutely. We are currently working with number one, KOP. Of course, Brother C-Ron has been a staple. He's already been in the city. But now that I have the position and the title of the mayor, my goal is to keep establishing and pouring into programming, support, and resources to help give this access to our community. Then we also have a lot of the youth groups that we've been working with, in addition to the Police Athletic League. The PAL program in the city of Riviera Beach has done a phenomenal job with Officer Nance. I think we've been operating in silos where each group is operating within their own specific network, and we need to bring them all together. So our next group meeting is going to be a community cleanup where we bring all of the youth groups together to engage and to meet each other, to see what we're doing, to talk about programming, to discuss how we can interact with each other and provide exchangeable resources and benefits to each other's program, so that the children of one community and one organization can engage with the other ones and see what's being done.
If you're just joining us, you're watching Community Conversations with the newly appointed mayor of Riviera Beach.
That's
You
right.
did that. My producer, Denia Strawn, did that. Newly appointed mayor of Riviera, newly appointed mayor of Riviera Beach, Douglas Lawson. Now, we have some questions coming in. If you have any questions for the mayor, send it to 561-665-0151. Mr. Mayor, how do you plan, how do local businesses and community organizations, again, fit into your vision? I know you addressed that a minute ago, but talk to me again. How do local businesses and community organizations fit into your vision?
So honestly, my goal and my vision is that we create a cycle of development and growth. A lot of our struggles that we have from some of our parents and some of the individuals, the entrepreneurs and business owners of our community, is they're not receiving the benefits or the resources when it comes to engagement. So whether it's through an incubator program where the corporations and the companies can help uplift the families with jobs, with opportunities, with training, with bonding for their businesses. That gives them the resources and opportunity to be able to pour down and trickle down to the children that benefit from the parents being gainfully employed. So we need to provide training for the parents and jobs and resources for our parents. Resources, opportunities, and support from the corporations and businesses that are coming into the community, and that are already here. We have about 37 Fortune 4 and 500 companies that have their corporate offices in Riviera Beach. We need to partner with them and build better relationships with them through these mentorship programs that are matriculating down the line to our students. So if these corporations are here, why not provide support to the organizations that are currently doing it and that are currently providing resources? And then finding the proper programming and training for our young people that can actually engage, and then getting the resource information out to them so that they know this is what's happening. So we're going to create a cycle that starts with the business community, that starts with our parents, that starts with our children's, but that is managed and operated through government, through the mayor's office, and shows that there's a cycle of partnership and relationships that we can establish together.
All right. And talking about gentrification is coming to the city. What are your plans to address this?
Gentrification is here. It's something that we've seen and that's been coming because we are the last bit of undeveloped beachfront, portfront, and railroad community in the East Coast. So when we have a community that has such valuable land, we have to make sure we protect it. And how do we protect it? Is we provide restrictions and regulations that make sure that we don't develop without displacing our residents. We need to protect the residents that are here and provide resources for first-time homebuyers. So that's why I think that youth council will be so important, because some of our students that are participating in that are going to be coming back as homeowners after they go off to college, or looking to actually establish domicile and homeownership in our community. So the development that's happening, we need to make sure that they're pouring back into the community, raising the median income and protecting what's happening from our residents. So we have to really work as a cycle with everybody that's here, the development community and the current owners, to protect the land and the resources that we currently have.
And how do you plan to address the homeless situation, drugs, and prostitution in the city?
So Chief Coleman has done a phenomenal job. We've lowered our homeless and our prostitution, our homeless, and our actual criminal basis by about 50% in Riviera Beach over the last 2 years. So Chief has done and been intentional with working with local groups and organizations to provide support. Homelessness is a derivative of people going through something. Drug abuse is a derivative of mental health. My biggest goal and my focus has been mental health in our community, and it's providing opportunities and partnerships. So if we can address those issues by helping individuals with resources, with jobs and opportunities, and with support and programming, that will help a lot of the homelessness and the prostitution. We talked about jobs, we talked about engagement, but people are just trying to find ways to feed their families. So that's why they may be out on the streets trying to do that. So economics has to be addressed in our community to work together with our community. So one of my goals and one of my thoughts are some of the visions I have. But again, my only thing that I can do is provide a listening ear. And that's why we're going to do our listening tour. So we'll be continuing this all month. So with Sebastian and Ciron, I'll be listening to you guys and everybody else to not just give my opinion, but to hear what else we need.
It appears that you're changing hats, Mr. Mayor, from a policymaker to that of a listener. Let's see how this goes. That's good.
That's the goal, Brother Ciron, because I've seen that the policy making was just a lot of taking the feedback from the residents and implementing it so it can impact our residents. From the mayor's position, I can sit down and have these conversations, hear the needs of our community, the questions and concerns, and then throw it back on individuals like Sebastian. How do you see that I can help and impact? What is your opinion about actually trying to help the homeless population or helping the youth? What can I do better from the mayor's office? So those will be the conversations that I'm going to have with you, Sebastian, and all the other children that are watching, the young men and women that are here that are trying to engage, to see what's actually your opinion of how I can implement it, and then working together to develop a plan together.
Understood. Well, looking ahead, how do you see youth-focused policy shaping the future of Riviera Beach?
I think that Riviera Beach is a gem. It is the number one, the largest growing community in South Florida, and it is one of the most beautiful beachfront, portfront, railroad communities. It's predominantly Black and minority community with 67% Black people and 83% minority. We need to go ahead and keep it as a gem, and we need to continue to do that with the help and support. My good friend and one of my mentors, Mr. Calloway, said we have to take care of the least, the lost, and the left out, and protect our youth and support our seniors. So by protecting and supporting, making sure that we develop without displacing, is we listen to the needs, and we also provide programming and resources so we can elevate them. And that's what I'm planning on doing, is by having the youth and the youth council engaged in developing and addressing policy, so that the policy I'm setting is not just some old guys like myself, but from individuals that are going to be the voting members in the next 3 to 5 years, the ones that are going to be buying the homes in the next 5 to 7 years, the ones that's going to be raising their families in the next 10 years. That's what I want to try to do to make sure I establish a strong foundation for all of our young people in Riviera Beach.
Well, we appreciate your dedication, Mayor. And thank you again for joining us tonight on Community Conversations. We love hearing your plans, and we wish you the very best for the foreseeable future.
Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Ciron. I appreciate the time. It's been a blessing. And please invite me back so we can continue this conversation.
Of course. Of course.
Thank you, guys.
Wonderful night, sir.
Goodbye. So, Sebastian, what are your plans for the weekend? This is a Easter weekend. What are you doing? What are your plans?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I mean, maybe I could. Well, maybe I could possibly go to church with my family since it would be Easter Sunday. But other than that, not much really. But what I have been doing this week is I have been getting to my Bible more as of recent since this is Holy Week. Since this is Holy Week, I have been getting into my Bible more, learning about Jesus' story and about all the things that happened before he eventually went on the cross. But that's what I've been doing up this week. But for the weekend, I'm not too sure. But all I know is I'm definitely going to be celebrating Jesus's resurrection this Sunday.
All right, that's good. Denia Strong just walked in and she's telling me that it's 8 o'clock. I got to get out of this seat. So Jeremiah, go ahead and play "Good Night, Sweetheart." Then let get Denia Strong back in here. So Sebastian, you have a good.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go home. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go home. I hate to leave you, but I really must say, oh, good night, sweetheart. Good night.
And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you
Oh, hello everyone. Hi.
Hey, Diana. Better late than never.
Denia is Denia.
Denia. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. But better late than never.
Late. They call you all
That's not
kinds of
what
names.
happened. Yes, I'm not there. I was always here, guys. I was always here. Okay, so lights, camera, action. If you tuned in, welcome to Community Conversations, where
If you're tuned in or if you're just tuned in, which one? See, that's
Sorry,
what happened.
guys.
You're late.
If you're tuned in, welcome to Community Conversations, where we bring you news that educates without bias and informs without fear. We're using remote technology to make sure the next generation stays connected to the world. This is the future of news.
And hey, if you love what we do, you can help keep Community Conversations alive. And here's how you can do it. Here's the first option was a one-time gift. Just $50 can make a huge impact. Or if you don't have that much money, but you still want to support us, you can give us a monthly support for $5 a month. And $5 a month keeps our show going strong. Every donation is tax deductible. It goes straight forward towards keeping the newscast vibrant and impactful. Donate now at www.klpmn. If I said that right, let me repeat it. At www.klpmn.org. Let's keep the conversation going and the rhythm alive.
Yes. Tonight's show shoutouts is Tonight's Magic is powered by our star cinematographer and engineer Jeremiah, a proud product of Dr. Juan Garcia High School. What is his grad? That's funny. Not grad, guys. He's only a sophomore, I think, not grad. And our proud producer, me, Denia Strong, an Atlantic High School 11th grader with dreams of becoming a broadcast journalist. Plus, a huge shout out to our Community Conversations classrooms, Mrs. Avilia's Eagles, Parkview School, El Monte, California.
Mrs. Forrest Bulldogs at Barrington School, Forest, Montana? I want to say it's Montana.
It's Missouri. Yeah,
Missouri. Missouri.
Yes. Mrs. Milson, I don't know if that's the word. Business Mighty Cardinals, Mayville School, Mayville, Wisconsin.
Mr. Segman's 5C Clovis Bulls at NSHA Great Neck, New York City.
And of course, happy birthday to Gracie Bowden, aka Juicylicious, the Juicy Lady, and all our students, teachers, and viewers celebrating this week. Keep shining and making our community proud.
And that's a wrap for this week. Tune in next Friday for more stories about young people changing the game locally and globally. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in for another amazing rendition of Community Conversations. If you like what you saw tonight, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing with friends, families, and even acquaintances. Be sure to tune back next week for another amazing edition of Community Conversation.